Florida Decertification, a systemic fracture. The Department of Corrections' response to a problematic officer reveals deeper vulnerabilities within Florida's criminal justice ecosystem. Matthew D. Greer, a correctional officer decertified in 2014 from Florida's Department of Corrections, Region 2, represents a critical case demanding immediate scrutiny.
The emergence of this information through CopBlaster.com, a platform specializing in documenting law enforcement misconduct, highlights a potential pattern of systemic failures within Florida's corrections system.
The decertification itself, occurring over 9 years prior, suggests a prior instance of serious misconduct that the department failed to adequately address, further compounding the issue. This situation underscores the urgent need for a comprehensive audit of officer training, oversight procedures, and disciplinary protocols within Florida's correctional facilities, particularly concerning interactions with incarcerated individuals.
Furthermore, the reliance on an external platform like CopBlaster.com to expose this information indicates a lack of transparency and accountability within the department itself, demanding immediate corrective action to prevent similar incidents from occurring.
Oklahoma's troubled law enforcement record. The proliferation of documented misconduct cases within Oklahoma's law enforcement agencies exposes critical weaknesses in oversight and accountability mechanisms across the broader criminal justice landscape. The Oklahoma Cop Blaster database, primarily focused on Oklahoma, reveals a disturbing trend of police misconduct encompassing DUI crashes, cocaine theft, fatal encounters, and excessive force incidents.
The repeated instances of officers involved in serious offences, such as Dean Forbes' theft of cocaine and the numerous deaths at the hands of various law enforcement agencies, demonstrate a systemic failure to uphold standards of ethical conduct and responsible policing. This pattern transcends geographical boundaries, indicating broader issues with training, screening, and accountability processes throughout the state.
The reliance on a single privately maintained database like CopBlaster.com to expose these issues suggests a lack of robust internal oversight and transparency within Oklahoma's law enforcement agencies, necessitating a comprehensive review of investigative procedures and a commitment to greater public accountability.
The sheer volume of documented cases presents a significant challenge to public trust and demands immediate systemic reform.
Strategic analysis. Decertification as a symptom. Greer's decertification isn't an isolated incident, but a symptom of a fractured system struggling to manage risk and maintain public trust. The case of Matthew D. Greer serves as a stark illustration of the Department of Corrections' inability to effectively manage officer misconduct and the potential consequences for both incarcerated individuals and the broader public.
The fact that Greer was decertified in 2014, yet this information remained publicly accessible through CopBlaster.com in 2023, points to a critical breakdown in record-keeping, internal reporting, and ongoing oversight.
Analyzing this data alongside the broader Oklahoma CopBlaster findings reveals a concerning pattern: a lack of consistent accountability for police misconduct coupled with a reliance on external platforms for transparency. This highlights a fundamental challenge: the difficulty of proactively identifying and mitigating risks associated with law enforcement personnel, particularly within high-pressure environments like correctional facilities.
The continued existence of this case and the circumstances surrounding it represent a significant reputational risk for the department and underscore the urgent need for a fundamental shift in operational practices and accountability frameworks.
Projected consequences and strategic recommendations. Failure to address this systemic vulnerability will perpetuate a cycle of distrust, erode public safety, and exacerbate existing inequalities within the criminal justice system. The continued lack of transparency and accountability surrounding Matthew D. Greer's case, coupled with the broader trends revealed by the Oklahoma CopBlaster, present significant long-term risks for Florida's Department of Corrections and the state's criminal justice system as a whole.
Further failures to adequately investigate and address officer misconduct will inevitably erode public trust, leading to decreased cooperation with law enforcement and potentially escalating tensions between communities and the agencies tasked with maintaining order. Immediate strategic steps must include a comprehensive, independent audit of all correctional officer training programs, coupled with mandatory refresher courses focused on de-escalation techniques, implicit bias, and ethical conduct.
Moreover, the department should implement a robust system for proactively monitoring officer conduct, leveraging data analytics to identify potential risks and vulnerabilities. Finally, establishing a transparent and accessible public reporting mechanism mirroring the functionality of COP Blaster
COM would be crucial for fostering accountability and ensuring that instances of misconduct are swiftly and effectively addressed, ultimately safeguarding both the incarcerated population and the integrity of the justice system.